Hi guys, welcome to episode 25 of the MMA World Podcast with me, Ricky Wright. As always, adrenaline fight night promoter James Wallace, and we got undefeated amateur prospect Glenn the Sledge Williams and undefeated MMA professional, Jiu-Jitsu black belt and strike and submit promoter Kevin Cox. Welcome to the show, guys.
How long his introduction was it? James Wallace again.
Almost
James Wallace again.
They know you, James.
From adrenaline,
They know you. They know you.
That guy.
Oh, I said nothing about myself. You know how much I love to
They
talk
know
about
you.
myself.
You talk about
I
yourself.
said, I'm just Ricky Wright. So anyway, welcome to the show, guys. You've got a show coming up yourself. You're promoting the first ever strike and submit.
Yep.
Local here in where is it to?
It's in the old Avon Lido. So it's a Celtic Leisure now, I think it's called.
Isn't it called Avon Lido? No.
I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I'd like to think it is.
What's on the poster?
I don't do the poster.
Avon Leisure Centre.
Avon Leisure Centre.
I'll do it. Yeah. So it's your first time you've promoted. How's it going? Stressed?
It's easier fighting, isn't it?
Well, I'm probably going to have a fight before this thing is not finished. That's a fact.
Yeah, because you mentioned you're doing it with your brother Rob.
I was going to say, Robert, Gareth Dummer, on Sledge if he phones me one more night.
I just want to keep the company, like, you know.
I bet you know his walkout music already, do you? Who's the DJ?
No. Oh, I am usually on the ball, but he phoned me and asked me for it, right? So just to let you know, no.
I did.
Otherwise, I send it about 3 weeks in advance.
I confess.
Wait till the people start walking up to you on the day and say, "Where's the DJ?" It's like, the one the music's coming from.
People come up to me with their CDs and I'm like, man, what do you want me to do? Sing over it?
True story, guys. I asked somebody for the glove size. We were providing gloves and etc. as a kit for the show. I asked somebody the glove size. He came back with a number, and it took me a while to realise it's an 07. It's his phone number. So like, just larger than you know.
So tell us about a couple of fights on the card. Of course, Glenn, you're the main event. Is that right?
Yeah.
Tell us who you fight in.
I fight in Jamie McDonald. He's fights out of HMAC, which is in Scotland. He fights in the Ross Houston. He just left SBG, I believe. Yeah, so it's a big test for me because we have my first day pro weigh-in and I'm still fighting 93, so we kept in a bit from a certain weight. I won't say what, but
okay.
yeah. So yeah, I
That's a little bit of it. Like I always do daily for weigh-ins for the amateurs for titles and international fights because they're flying over and stuff. But for the titles, because it adds a little bit. It's the photo the day before the photo goes up. There's a little bit more things, so it adds a bit more to it. It's a good thing to do, especially the main event. Is it just the main event that's doing the day before?
It is.
Yeah, it's just us two, and we fight in 5 rounds as well. So I'm looking forward.
5 rounds.
And my last 2 have been meant to be 5 rounds as well, but they obviously didn't go 5 rounds. So
okay.
I'm still training for it.
So tell us what training you're doing coming into this fight.
I do the same as what I normally do, but I do strength conditioning in the morning. Obviously I work normal and jiu-jitsu, boxing, striking. We do a lot of pad work as well with the striking coaches. I try and do a lot more wrestling as well now, because I think at the moment wrestling's dominant. So wrestling for me with my boss, but he takes me a lot. We do a lot of drills between us as a fight team as well, so we all help each other.
For those of them watching who don't know, who can't read, tell them where you train.
Am I told you? That's my sponsor as well, right? Camps Transport.
We haven't got that much time.
Amazing. He's got a van out in the car park. Have you seen it? He's got a Nails branded van which is given to him by sponsors. This guy's a legend, the only amateur fighter that gets more than the pros. Legend.
I've always wanted like Ricky Wright on the side of my car.
Mate,
I
no
think I
one
get
can lie.
You live in the wrong zone.
He asked me the photo, he's going to put a photo on it. There's no way I'd be able to drive through Kamala with a photo of my own face on the van. I'd be stoned to death.
You're right off on it.
Yeah. Do you remember my shrine, as we called it, in the gym? We moved into a new gym about, I can't remember it was
3 years December just gone.
But Gareth said as a joke, I'm gonna put a big portrait of you on the wall. We had this like graffiti artist coming in. He said, we're gonna do a graffiti portrait of you on the wall. And he had this photo of JT, right? So JT obviously, you know, like he's not even the same ethnicity as me. He's dark, you know. So he's stood on the wall like this. So he painted the body of JT with his hands out. And Gareth went in and stopped him dead. He said, I want Kevin's head on that. So I wasn't there, obviously. So with that, I thought he was joking. He phoned me up. He said, "Oh, we've got a picture of you on the wall." I said, "No chance." Next thing, a photo comes through. I'm straight in the car down B&Q about rollers. I literally painted single-handedly the whole wall of my gym with a roller over the top. So
you got all these paintings all over the wall, and then like what's it called, a magnolia.
I wish I had the pictures to show you all.
Oh, in fact, it's turned into Sledge's shrine now because my posters are there, all my medals and everything.
Cheers, Kev. All 5-year posters.
All it's missing is lights. So you can put some lights on there and everything.
Brilliant. So, I was feeling about the fight. I was feeling about fighting at home. I know, obviously, Swansea's 10 minutes for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's where you've been fighting up until now. But
it's a show basically built around you as well.
Yeah.
Does that add extra pressure?
It does a bit. I mean, like, the fact we walk the cutting, the only pressure is now is about strength. How we got bigger, much bigger, stronger sparring partners, so I can go through it. I'm trying to get past the. But to be honest, with the fight, some I probably sold some more tickets because it's a small venue, we're not going too big. I've only been allocated so many tickets, so we had to stop it. Like, otherwise, that wouldn't bother me. That'd spit me on a bit more as well, I think. But because I say I don't feel pressure, I don't feel nervous, and that, like, but you do inside, but honestly.
yes, you will.
Yeah.
You've got to feel a bit of voice.
I do a bit, like, but it's, for me, it's like the week or two before. Before, it's like people start. Because in the beginning, there was no pressure, there was nobody expecting me to do well. Now it is. Everyone's expecting me and starting. Yeah. So then, like, am I training enough? Am I doing this right? Am I letting people down? Am I doing this? That gets me a bit. But then, at the end of the day, it's only me. I'll be letting down. So I think it's only me. And so
expectations are always built.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a few things I like. Being unbeaten is like, am I perfect? No, I'm not. So at the time it's going to come, and then we're going to learn from it as well. So we're going to find the level we're going to stay on now soon. So which I think, it's hopefully won't come soon, but
it's nerves. That's that strange scenario. I mean, the nerves help by him. It was a hard one. I think there's a video on YouTube somewhere that was going around a while ago with Donald Cerrone describing his walk to the ring. It's amazing. He talks about he's throwing his hands in the wall. He's like, "Oh, why do my hands feel so heavy?" You almost want the roof to fall down when you're walking out. You're walking out towards that cage. You just hope you twist your ankle and the bone sticks out so you can't fight. Then you get in the cage and then it goes ding ding, and all of a sudden it's just gone. Everything disappears.
Exactly
and it's like
everyone goes out.
Obviously, Kev, you fought 3 times as a pro. You had quite a lot of fights, amateur and your semi-professional as well. And then you fight in Carl Priest.
Carl Priest, that's amazing.
Carl Priest over in where was that? Nantaglaw.
Sam Valley.
And so you got 2 guys from like beneath Port Talbot, Maesteg area, fighting all the way in like everywhere.
Honestly, I'm really friends with his nephew. Really good friends with his nephew at the moment, but. I remember that fight tonight. He was a lot older than me at the time. He was mid-30s, I think. I was a youngster.
He was in the ring as well.
Yeah, he was in the ring, and I'd never punched anyone in my life. I'd just grappled, I thought, let's give this a go. And when I got in, he was covered in like baby oil and everything. He was slippery. He was like covered in oil.
My steak, dodgy.
Honestly, first scene down I did, I remember I ran into him, hit him on the shoulder. I thought, oh great, I got him. We just kept on going. We're straight through the middle of the ropes. It kind of like landed on one of the judging tables. Like landed. It's a hell of a
slid off.
I was like, oh, sorry boys. We climbed back into the ring. But
so I remember that fight. Like you dominated the first half, and then he took over towards the end.
Yeah.
Did you get the win?
Yeah.
Or was it?
Yeah. Of course, Rick.
Come on, Rick. I just remember it was very close, but towards the end he could stop the takedown and then he hit you a few times and it was just like if he kept on hitting you, like it would have hurt.
Rick, what did you say?
No, I'm saying
I remember getting tired towards the end. I was really struggling. I was struggling getting finished. I remember being greased up.
That's so wrong, mate. She did that.
It was bad. I think people used to do it a lot. Like,
yeah.
I remember people used to say, "Oh yeah, if you just rub loads of baby oil in and then have a shower, when you sweat it comes out and you be slippery."
People used to bathe in it the night before.
Don't know what it makes baby oil.
In kickboxing, they used to rub themselves in oil, and I was like, when I'm hitting it, it just slides off.
I went on a train with Carl after it, and you would deny it, it's a point blank. I said, no, I didn't lube myself up. That sort of laugh. But his boxing coach came in one day, and he was actually wrapping my hands. We were doing a couple of boxing rounds. And I said, yeah, so Carl's fighting again, so fighting down, and he had another fight planned down south somewhere. And I said, oh, is he gonna grease up again? And he went, yeah, definitely. I went, see?
Wasn't he sponsored by Durex Lube? It's on his shorts.
Amazing. Brilliant.
No, that was like proper old school. I mean, you don't even look old enough to fight so long as
well. You're teaming yourself now.
Learn it. You're
trying to get a job, yes.
Amazing.
So who's your MC job? And then obviously you turned pro and had 3 pro fights. I mean, you haven't fought in a while now. Is it your plan to retire? You're gonna have another one, or?
Is my missus listening to this?
No, I love fighting. It's a passion, but kind of I can't give you my MMA sob story about like why I haven't fought that. But I had 2 years off. Basically, I had a year off. My little boy wasn't very well, but it kind of knocked me backwards. Like priorities changed. You know, it's just family life. So my priorities changed. I didn't fight for that year. I kind of pulled out of a fight, which is a fight that I really wanted as well. Against a guy I think a lot of as well, but. Joe Oreo, so I think it would be a great fight for me, and I really like the guy. And
we really need Joe Oreo on the show.
He's great, man. He's great. I love his company. It's strange. It's weird. I prefer it when there's no bad feeling in a fight. You know, if you like the guy, it's great. It doesn't feel like a fight. It feels like you're doing what you're doing. So, and I really like Joe. But anyway, regardless, so I pulled out that fight, which is a bit of a shame. And kind of had a year off, and then I went to come back, and then realised how fat I was, and getting back down to weight is just harsh, and it's just like it's just like a flip of paradigms to kind of get back.
Like when you step in the gym now, there's people who need you, and that's what you find. Is like it gets to the point where you're accountable for everyone. So that's what it's hard. And like I find like obviously. You work for yourself as well, so your hours are what you make of, I suppose. But I'm going to do everything in the morning, and then that's when you see your kid then. Exactly. And then the nights you've got no chance, you know. It's hard. It is hard.
It is harsh. It is harsh. But I still feel exactly
especially when they're ringing you every day.
I know, I do. I got to be honest. I do struggle.
Glenn high maintenance.
Glenn high maintenance. Something else. I thought my missus was bad. Just trying to cheat killing music.
I used to manage.
That's why you got somebody sponsoring. Do whatever you want.
I used to manage.
It's only been this week, right?
I used to manage Lewis Long, and that's high maintenance. Give me sponsors then. I want my money.
Brilliant.
No, I can imagine that.
In fairness, Glenn runs and said he's got like the best work ethic you can imagine. It's almost playing a computer game with Glenn. I mean, speaking about past and history and stuff, obviously it's well documented that he's come from not such a good place to where he is now. It's just a hell of a turnaround in life, and he's done it himself. He always gives other people credit for it.
The other ones are always people who have experienced things. The guy's
a dream. He's like a computer game. You press A and he does this. You know, he literally just does as he says.
It's because I've said it before on other podcasts. Like I come from a rugby background with no martial arts experience, no nothing. So I'm putting all my trust in these to guide me rightly, tell me what to do. Because they tell me to punch, and I don't know nothing else to do. So this is what I got to do. I'm working on wrestling because I haven't done it before. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to blend that from rugby to wrestling.
I know people can.
The rugby helps.
No,
for
because your head's in the wrong position, your back's position, your body angles.
Yeah, but you're coachable because of the rugby.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
I'll tell one thing rugby does, don't gas as easy as other people. All rugby players that come to us don't gas like the rest, like their bodybuilders and really strong. Give it 2 minutes, you don't have because they
in a rugby game, the fitness of being a forward anyway, back and doing that and stuff. But when you're a fight, it's like you're in a fight.
Exactly the same
fitness wise, and then you jog to the next fight.
So recovery is
it's the same fitness. Obviously, it's not time.
So for those of you who seeing you for the first time on today's pod, you just explained that he's come from background, come through adversity. Tell us some more about that.
Let's get the real story.
He was there for most of them. Like my party and stuff. Like, you know, it's pointless getting a sob. So every fighter's got a story. There's getting good says like, but mine like I chase 2 extra friends away from being in the pub too much and not being a good dad. And yes, not going into too much detail. Like it's like I needed something to focus me. I've gone through being in massive debt to fighting and learning, pay my debt off, and I'm buying a house in 2 weeks. So all through fighting. Otherwise, I guarantee you, if I hadn't been in the fighting gym, I wouldn't be where I am.
Yeah, that's great. That's just another example of how martial arts has saved people. I mean, we've all benefited from martial arts, I guess, you know, and
direction in it.
It is. It's focus. Like you know, you get creatures. Well, I like routine. Like believe it or not, Monday to Friday, I like getting up early. I like going to the gym. I like being able to come home from work, have my little hour, go to the gym, come home, shower, food, and bed. I like all that. Yeah. So like you know, I'm a creature of habit. Like I could go to the same pub every Friday, the same routine. 5 years, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So now it's just a focus doing the same thing, but it's actually good things.
Yeah.
I see a fine line between addiction and obsession, but people think of addiction as a bad thing. I'm addicted to the gym, but just because when you say addiction, people automatically think it's bad. You can be obsessed with something, think it's good. You can be obsessed with bad stuff too.
It's the same as when, and part of it on the flip side, isn't it? When fighters retire, it's that what they look for to fill the gap. Unless you know, coaching is the best thing to do.
It's a common story,
but it's like, oh, I go to the pub.
So like, what? How did you stumble onto the gym?
I'll tell you the truth. I was in rugby. I've was always been quite abrasive and loved a bit of a scrap. Like even though I've had 8 red cards, I lost 7 of them. I got filled in 7 times.
She's not a defeater.
Not even like I played for Green Stars against Mandy. I had my head kicked in, and everybody's saying well done to me. Like I'm walking off, well done, I've been well done. Look at that. But, so like I made a Frango, I was made to 4D and everything. And so I went to jiu-jitsu about 4 years ago, first time. I rolled with Lee Arlington. And I left, and I had to go away to work for a while. I said to Frank, I love this, I want to go again. But I worked away all summer. I come back then. I started MMA on the November. I didn't miss an MMA class for about 6 months. And then I started jiu-jitsu properly. Didn't miss a jiu-jitsu class for about 3 months or something. Something ridiculous. And that was about 3.5 years ago. So but it's just sort of like, and I find it in rugby as well. Rugby's gone soft. So there's no, I know I'm more skillful than in rugby, but I think it's no place in rugby for me anymore. Like, you know, you get in the yellow cards for a tackle up, I don't think there's some people only play rugby for some of it. I'm not saying there's a direct link, but there's definitely something. Like when I first started with Kev, there was one person in the gym bigger than me, or same size, was Anthony. Now there's 8 boys bigger than me, all ex-rugby. Look at it. There's definitely a link. People say there's not, I think it is. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, bigger guys you don't see as much in gyms. It's normally the smaller guys in the
because rugby, like I follow a guy on there, right, he's not really right, but he says people don't pick a sport picks a people. You look at a swimmer, they've all got massive shoulders, big arms. You start swimming for a year, you don't got massive shoulders, big arms. Why? Because the sport, you know, he's a swimmer because he's got big arms, because he's got broad shoulders. So like rugby, you pick a rugby ball up in school as a kid when other people, you're big and strong, go and play rugby. So all the big players in Wales snapped up by rugby because they're big. But now, because rugby's I think it's a dying sport, they're starting to go to other things now. Martial arts,
maybe,
boxing.
I mean, I think in martial arts, I mean, especially when you look at the jiu-jitsu side of it, because obviously, you know, there's a lot of jiu-jitsu, obviously a big part of MMA jiu-jitsu, and I fancy it's where the little guys do well against the big guys. A lot of the big guys don't like that. So they don't stay. Nobody wants to be the big guy.
We don't.
Nobody wants to be the big guy who's going to beat up with a little girl.
No, I totally get it.
So that's why you get, like, you know, and isn't there, like, to me, a bantamweight's a really small person. But there's loads of them in Wales.
Yeah. but one thing for me as well, right? I do tend to do better. I do a lot better in the gym against the bigger, strong guys. Because I'm little guys, I do tend to. I find it hard to control the speed underneath me because they get the sun. All the bigger, stronger guys, I tend to, even though we're a lot bigger, stronger than me, I tend to do really well because I can already a bit slower.
Yeah, exactly. There is that. But I just say what I mean is you don't get as many of them for that reason. In my opinion, I don't know.
I suppose with the littler guys, they're always in bad positions when they first start because they you know, with strength. So they're used to being on the back.
With big guys, I think they're hard, isn't it?
And then
big guys in school, they think, well, you know, I'm a big guy, I'm out. But the little guys never have that expectancy. So when they go into the gym, they're not expecting to be tough. Yeah. they learn that.
I think it might be working with him. First time I seen a small bounce on the cauliflower ear, I was like, why is he doing that? Fucking hell. Yeah, that's the one I'm going to say sorry to after he's done nothing wrong.
No, it was a small guy in the door was a reason for it. No, you're right. I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of the smaller guys around you anyway. But as I say, when you get the bigger guys, it's good that they sit together for training.
Yeah. It's good.
We got loads of gym now. Like
units.
I imagine when I first started, if I'd been with the person I'm in now, I'd have to go elsewhere to spar, and then we got loads of us now who we spar with. Like,
it's difficult prepping for a fight if you haven't got appropriate sparring.
Yeah.
Gosh, I remember sometimes going through fight camp, and the closest guy that was to me was Franco, and he's what 6. He's over 6 foot.
Yeah, 6 foot.
It's a different way of fighting. So like,
but you make do. I mean, you're never gonna get the perfect spam. You make do, but as I say, it's so much better when you got people there.
Yeah. It makes a hell of a difference. I think in our gym now, I can kind of walk in and I just feel like, it sort of feels like a kid again, you know. Everyone's massive.
I remember I used to do a sparring class in my old gym on a Friday. And there was like people wanted to spar, so we just do a sparring class on Friday. And then one Friday was like just after fights, you know, after people on the fights, people laying down the Friday and pissing, you know, the Friday. Yeah. So Christian turned up minion, and he was like 47 kilos at the time.
Soaking wet.
Yeah. After food, like, right? And no wine up, Quinn.
No. For anyone who doesn't know Owen Apquin, he's a heavyweight of a large persuasion.
Well, you know, he's pound for pound as strong as I've seen the monster.
I remember he came to train with me for a couple of sessions, and the only way I can describe it feels like being in a tumble dry. Like, you know, like a couple of times I thought, I've got a submission. He just was
grabbing with a polar bear, basically.
You know.
But as I say, it's like, alright, so I'm sparring today. That's what it was. But yeah, as I say, you know, it's good when you get people with the same thing. We're going to go for a break?
Yeah, well, stay tuned for the next part where we will announce the winner of the competition to win the gi that we did on the last show.
Talk about Strike and Submit.
And talk more about Strike Submit. Hi guys, welcome back to part 2 of the MMA Wales podcast, episode 25. Right, we didn't talk much about your upcoming show, Strike and Submit, so tell us when it is, where it is, and tell us more about the card. If you can't remember any of the fights,
that's right. The reference, of course I can remember all the fights. Basically what it is, guys, is Strike and Submit is something that we kind of developed as a club because we're looking to give upcoming fighters a bit more of a chance. You know, basically it's so hard with some of the more credible shows, some of the better match shows, better run shows. Inevitably you want
adrenaline.
You want your fighters to fight on.
Yeah.
Essentially, they're kind of like out of their league for these up-and-coming fighters. So they're really keen to fight, and then they're kind of disheartened when you say, "Oh, look, guys, yeah, you can fight on these shows, but just give it a couple of years, you'll be right," you know. So it's a difficult thing. So what we wanted is to bring back. We mentioned a little bit about the old grapple and strike days. The no headshots MMA earlier, which was partly I came through that sort of process. I know a lot of the fighters in the UK from my generation when I started came through that, like Joe Duffy, Paul Reed, Shaky, absolutely, man. Yeah, everybody was there back in those old grapple and strike days, and for some reason it kind of completely went off the boil. And I agree, it's not as glamorous, you know, it's not as much of a spectacle to watch, etc. But I think the experience that you gain from that is completely invaluable, you know, and we want that for our fighters, and nobody's doing it. So we decided we're going to do it, and we're going to put a show on which is going to be absolutely on par with a much more highly and professional sort of level shows, but it's going to give those new up-and-comers a point to start from, so it's going to give them the valuable experience that they need.
Cool. So talk us through the card. We've already discussed Glenn's upcoming fight.
Yeah.
With Jimmy.
So basically, you're doing an undercard of the, as you say, no headshots.
Exactly.
They're all no headshots. standing hand on the floor, because they used to change, didn't it?
Yeah. So this is kind of the format. Throughout the year, we've had a couple of kind of inter-club competitions, really, where it's been in our gym, and we've been watching guys up and come in, and the guys that have supported it and done really well through the inter-club sort of scenarios, we give in the opportunity to fight for the belts on this night, which we call in the Champions Night, you know. So
you got 5 of them fights.
We got 5 title fights.
So these guys, and obviously, so like obviously because being the first event, and one thing I always think is being your first event and putting titles on, like it's not.
Exactly.
It's basically the club has turned into an event.
Exactly.
We've had 5 interclubs to me so far.
That's yeah.
So these guys have been showcasing on, and they've got
wins. Exactly.
Right.
So they're not even going to be titles that they're going to eventually or inevitably defend, because I appreciate that most of these guys are using us as a stepping stone, and that's what we want. We want these guys to be available for the bigger shows. So
I suppose the guys after that fight will be on the main card. The next event.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, you know, if they get a good experience, they'll come back to us and kind of support us to kind of put bums on seats then when we're with the unified amateur fights, which is essentially, I think, what people like to see as a spectacle.
Yeah.
But the titles themselves, it's they're going to be sort of annual titles. So you kind of get a belt and you walk away as the strike and submit no headshots champion. But you're basically off 2019, 18, whatever year it is that you've kind of read through throughout the year. You get the title for that year, and instantly that it's going to be re-awarded again the year after. So I think so.
So they're all like obviously mainly local clubs, like Trinity Combat, Nails obviously. I've done Flawless.
We've got Flawless again. Did I believe. I don't want to say that the wrong guy coach, but they've recently joined. I think they're affiliated to Chris Reese Academy, but I think
where are they?
It's Lewis up in Newport.
Okay.
But they got some really good guys coming down. That's Jake Llewellyn. He's fighting for the middleweight title. He's great. He's supported it. He's one of these guys who's quite dynamic. I've always enjoyed watching him. You know, he really gets stuck in, and I think he's game for it. You know, he does the old Instagrams posts, and he's putting himself out there. So I think he's obviously going to go on to the next step when.
So they got basically they got the bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight, welterweight, and middleweight, no headshot titles.
Yeah.
And then the main card moves on to unified amateur.
Yeah. So most of the unified amateur guys that we put on, again, we're trying to keep them low key as possible. It sounds bad, but we wanted the whole ethos of the show is to get guys who haven't actually had many fights. So we've got what we want to do is we want to develop titles. So we're going to put on a more experienced fighter for a guy that's going to be able to defend their title. The unified amateur titles, they're not going to be an annual thing. They're going to be keepers, so to speak. So our unified champions, they're going to be so obviously. Obviously I'm promoting the event, but so I don't want to say that Glenn's going to be our champion. I'm going to be impartial to some extent, but so obviously Glenn's going to be competing for that, and if he wins, he's going to keep his belt, and he's going to be in a position to defend that belt until he turns pro. So, but the other guys that are on the unified amateur main card, they essentially they're all low experience guys, so it's just kind of develop as much as possible.
Looking for the experience, which is good. Yeah, excellent. It's nice, like it's a nice early show to get on the year as well. I like that, the February thing, and because I think as a country, there's the Swedish guys, and I said January the 27th, Jorgen to put in a show on. I said, how do you get so many fighters after Christmas? Christmas is for kids. That's fair point. So it's like it's good that the guys are, you know, after
I'm the same. I've had done this raining in the middle of Christmas.
Yeah.
I drink on Boxing Day, which I've told you about already. But I haven't drunk the other way, so
he still hasn't been home yet.
But excellent. So I'd say strike and submit championship is 16th of February.
Yeah. 4 weeks Saturday.
Around the centre, 4 weeks Saturday, not he's counting.
And if it's going to be a success, you plan to do more strike and submit shows throughout the year then?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure about the champions. The whole idea, like I say, is we want people to work through the year to get onto the championship event. It's not going to be something we're going to do prolifically. We're not going to put on multiple shows through the year. It's not the intention.
You're not going to call out all the other shows and say, we've got a number one show in Wales.
We're number one. Look how many people we got.
Watch the space.
No, it's like, so you plan on carrying the club format.
Massively.
And then it's like, right, you win these fights,
you get
fight for the title on the big show.
And like I say, we're investing as much money into it as we can, just to kind of put into context. We get high quality referees and first aid cover. I think that goes as standard. If you want to be a credible show, you've got to put fighter safety first. You know, just standard. So that's something that that's a benchmark with decent shows. But in addition to that, we're looking for the good matchups. We've got like the Lioness Cut team in who are doing an awful lot of the minutes, so trying to support them and what they are doing. Every fighter's hands are going to be wrapped, and we're paying for that as well. You know, so I think it's massively important. You're just taking care of the fighters. You've got
it gives them experience as well of like this is what it's going to be like.
That's what it's going to be like.
Because I bring them in on my show sometimes, and I've said to people, look, you know, at the beginning when they said it's a tenner, wrap your hands. Tenner, I'm like. Yeah, chance.
It's huge. I can't believe the people that don't get it done still. Then it baffles me, you know. And people talk, it's only amateur though. I mean, I don't know if you've ever fought no headshot. But you got like these small gloves on, and you're punching towards people who are doing this. You know, it's like work.
Well, some people have got at it.
It goes without saying, you need to protect your hands regardless.
I've only ever had my hands wrapped twice, and that was when I fought. It was just like, what's happening?
Here he goes again. He mentions he's undefeated now.
We're all undefeated except you, James. If you're undefeated, put your hands in the middle.
I've had a lot of fights.
Apart from wins with the Lioness Cut team, he does my hands, and I actually enjoy all that process. I enjoy him, like, you know.
I do.
Not there for him.
When I was kickboxing, I used to run away from my coach Andy because I didn't like the way he done it. Like in the beginning, I did, but in the end, so I'd run away, and I'd come back, my hands wrapped. Like I don't know myself. He's like, they look fine, but why are you doing that? I don't know. I just like doing it. But now with the MMA, you got to feel I don't know.
For me, it's where the build-up starts. You start wrapping on, start getting tense, like in the right mindset, start thinking about going with proper things, and that's when the nerves get in butterflies.
Do you find that quite relaxing having your hands wrapped? It's quite
I don't know.
Especially with the Lioness girls, they quietly spoke and they'll talk you through it as they do it.
I torture back, you know.
I bet.
Oh, you're the one that tortures her back. I don't know. I hate, you know, like the actual wrapping people's hands. I'm like, keep your fingers apart.
It's funny. Like I get really nervous for the boys who are fighting. I think I'm as on par nervous when the guys are fighting as when I fight myself. And every time they kind of put their hands over the edge of the chair, and I come up, but I guess last time I think it was you. No, Struan is hilarious. He's calm as a cucumber. You know, he's literally. He's eating his Jaffa cakes. You have to tell him to stop eating, you know, just before he's fighting, because he's probably going to be sick, man. But I'm wrapping his hands out, and he goes, "You all right, mate?" I think so, Stu. I'll be all right.
The last fight was the best Cage Warriors. I mean, he just walked out like a week or two before he fought the Cage Warriors. So Rob says to him, "Where have you been today, Stu?" When I got up this morning, mate, I went to Forest Park, picked up a fridge. Just show you fighting, right?
The best part was he went to pick up this fridge.
On his own?
He was on like the top floor of the block of flats, and the lift was broken. So he carried this like fridge or washing machine with everyone down the stairs.
On his own, he didn't phone no one to help him, just went on his own as well.
Conditioning, man, isn't it?
Conditioning, standard warmer.
It's like
rocky training. You just don't think of some things, or do you? I wouldn't do it.
What you were saying about him?
I walk the fight to make him carry my bag, you know. No, that's just fine.
Entourage.
You're that guy, like doing.
3 other people got my poster, because there's only sponsors on it.
Who's driving my van?
Man, we've got to deal with this every day.
So, as well as the 16th Strike and Smith, before then we got the Welsh trials, which is going to be deciding the team for the IMAF to enter the European Championships, and then later the World Championships, something you were quite keen on being a part. You want to go to Belfast with a gold medal.
As I said, like I said before, like the rugby past, I wasn't good enough to represent country rugby, like every Welsh boy's dream was, but I really want to represent my country now. I mean, it being only cross the water up there as well, I think it's perfect as well.
Yeah, I mean the fight shouldn't be too much, and so the first trials will be on the 9th of February, held in the hangar in Cardiff, and then on the 10th we're doing the North Wales trials, which will be in the IPC gym in Wrexham. So if you're an amateur who want to represent Wales like Glenn does, please come along to the trials. Any questions you got, we'll answer, and then hopefully we'll send a big team of lads out to Belfast. Hopefully, if all goes well, you'll be one of them, and you'll be able to fly the Welsh flag walking down to the cage.
Even if you don't think you're quite good enough to make the cut, you might be. And not just that, I think doing the trials, it's like people this year might have had a couple of fights and think, oh, next year I'll be ready to represent. I mean, next year I'll do the trials. But then next year you'll be more nervous because you've never been to trials before.
Yeah.
So just do it this year.
Even
if you're not going to get
I was laughing with last year. I kept a close eye on the last year. I was like, that's what I'm going to do. And so I watched a few fights. I watched Rowan, I watched the boys online in work. And my dinner break in work, sorry, yeah. I watched I kept an eye on
sponsors now.
It's on his dinner break now.
No, I watched that. I watched, like, you know, I kept an eye on it and I thought, oh, you know, hopefully with a bit more training and a bit more developing, I'd be ready next year. And it's not whatever now, so I really want to go to it.
Especially a light heavyweight as well, because, you know, it's hard to get people to represent, isn't it?
And the light heavyweights, because it's a high weight division, it's a thinner division, so you get, like, whereas the lightweights and the welterweights, they'll get about 5 fights. With the light heavyweights, it's usually 3 fights, 4 fights with a bye. With some people, like, it's a good chance that so if you come out there,
how many can you take out?
What's that?
How many are you going to take out?
2 per division.
2 per weight class, yeah. And it's
you can take 3 if the division's ain't full.
Have you heard that?
Jorgen told me you can take 3. So basically, if there's not 32 in a division, like you can take a Sweden, like you always have 3 and stuff, because you can take the 3rd. So, but as I say, taking 3 light heavyweights is taking 1s of.
It's a lush idea, you know, because I remember growing up, like, even in primary school, you see the kids that come in the assembly, you know, and they've got the Welsh vest, the boxing vest, and it's it is something that's been missing from MMA, is the prestige of representing your country, you know.
MMA was too new, wasn't it?
It's too new, and there's no avenue to kind of represent your country, which is it's a shame, because if the guys in MMA, it's inevitable. You see how much Glenn is training. He deserves something as an
so when people ask me my goals and I say that, they go, I say represent my country and, you know, really want something to go far. They all go, what, I just choose it? I said, no, MMA. What, actual tournament MMA? I said, yeah. So like, it's a pop set that we got for a few cages, for different. Oh, that's actually real. Like they expect that just to be a film or something. So no, it actually happens. Like
blood sport or something.
One of my
if you're in it, there's a film, Glenn.
One of my favourite parts about the way the IMAF tournaments are now, and the way it's changed in the last 2 years, it's like Rory Evans, like using as an example, he's like, you had 10 amateur fights, he won them all, right? Like, he trains with Chris, he trains with me as well, striking. Now, at 10 fights, there was nothing else he could possibly do other than turn pro. Now, that's not the case.
No,
you haven't got to turn professional. Because let's face it, amateur boxers have no turn pro. Because you can keep fighting. How many amateur boxers like Dan Edwards and people around here, 40, 50, 60 fights? You know, you haven't got to turn professional. People don't expect it. But with MMA, it used to be like, well, you had 2 fights now, why aren't you getting elbowed in the face? What do you mean, why aren't you getting elbowed in the face? Why are you getting heel hooked? Like, why aren't you having a leg snap just for a couple of £100 in a weekend? Now you can do it as a full-time hobby. As an amateur. It's like you haven't got to. How many professionals do you see turn professional? It's not for them, because there is a massive difference.
And then the recreation as
well. And then a couple of losses, retired.
Oh, I'm actually looking forward to heel hooks, because I love leg locks. That's one of my favourite classes of the week, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I said, but not for everyone. Guys, getting an elbow into the head isn't nice. Okay? And when your head's pinned to the canvas, let's be fair, that's the biggest, you know.
In fairness, sometimes it's not nice elbowing someone in
the
head.
No, it's not. Bang! Oh! No, it's not.
I love it trying.
As I say, going that deep into a sport and thinking, it's like Muay Thai, isn't it? You haven't always got to go A-class Muay Thai where they do elbows to the head. I mean, so that's one of my favourite parts I have. You see these guys, like, well, Ricky goes to the tournaments, they've got 40, 50 amateur fights, and they're still going. I mean,
like the Bulgarian guy Delian Georgiev, he's 29 I know, 2-time world champion, European champion.
Like heavyweight.
He's a featherweight actually. But
just
I can cut the featherweight. But yeah, the light heavyweight,
the Russian guy,
the Russian Bahraini guy, Taza Ali. He's from Bahrain.
Don't go, man.
He's from Bahrain, but he's ginger.
Oh, yeah. He's a ginger.
He's going to be solid, isn't he? Yeah, he's used to taking anything on his life.
He's, yeah.
He looked at me there.
For shame, didn't he?
Yeah, he actually scared me there when he looked at me. I think he's turning pro now, which I think is for the best.
Yeah, honestly, Because
you were entering, so it's like he was the only option. But again, we've got So we spoke about Striker Smith, and we spoke about IMAF trials and everything. Now, there's been a lot of fights being announced so far this year. Some massive fights for Welsh fighters. We should discuss that, I reckon, boys. First of all, we got Lou Longs fighting Jimmy Wallhead. A brilliant fight. Lou has watched that fight.
How long was that?
That's the 9th.
So close.
In Newcastle.
I can't wait to set
it should be the main event on Bellator. Definitely. No people want to see that.
It's not even on the main card.
No, I know.
Isn't co-main event Arnold Chalmers?
Yeah,
but that's tickets, isn't it? I mean, that's tickets.
It's in Newcastle. They want to fill it up with Joe.
Yeah, fair enough. Do that, but you know, keep that.
In fairness, I mean,
I feel a bit sorry.
He was a guy that's like on the Welsh scene for years and years and years. Has been knocking the door of these big shows. And he's a great guy. We've spoken about Lou, even when the cameras are off. He's awesome. He deserves his shot. And this fight is a fantastic fight for him as well. I think.
You wanted this fight a while ago. You mentioned it, didn't you?
You wanted this fight.
Yeah, it's nice to see it.
When me and Lou, we went up to watch Cage Warriors. He'd literally been training MMA a week, and I was like, "Let's go Cage Warriors," because a Nigerian fighter, Lola, asked me and Denzel to corner him, and Denzel and Lou in the boat, I drove, and they were drinking vodka in the car on the way up. And after that, we went to the after party, and Lou was going to, judo Jimmy, is it? Judo help you in MMA? He's like, no mate, and walked off. And Lou was like, he'd been training MMA a week, and he was like, I'm gonna beat you.
I have read that somewhere as well.
Like 10 years later, it's going to happen, hopefully.
On Bellator as well, it's just a nice platform.
Yeah. And of course, we've got the big one, the Welsh middleweight championship between Jack Marshman and John Phillips. That's going to be huge.
Moving on.
But I'm not going to say who I want to win or lose that, because I just want it to be a good fight. Hopefully they both do so well.
I've said it loads.
Keep them on.
I want to see that fight, but I don't want to see it the way it is, and a contract. I want to see both guys stay in UFC. Yeah. I said before the fight was announced, or before anyone, I don't want to see that fight in UFC. There's hundreds of it. But the amount of publicity it has got is going to now. The amount of people who are ringing me, asking me if I'm going, and they never done that on any other UFC fight before. I mean, people who come to my show, but that's it. You know what I mean? I'm like, whoever gets the win, it's going to be fantastic for them. I mean, because what is it, like third card or third from the main event, right?
At the moment, yeah.
You expect it to be on the undercard.
The Battle of Wales.
It's such a big fight, because when people talked about it years before they both went to the UFC, and it wasn't long ago, they kind of both got signed, but I think it was Jack who fought first, wasn't it?
Yeah, and, John calling him out.
It was the best. John picking up the phone. Hi Dana, and those little parodies he was doing on Facebook before he got signed. It was hilarious. So I think they're inevitably on a sort of collision course to use to like fighting promotion talk and that, but it's going to happen. But like you say, it's just such a shame that the consequences of a loss might be.
It does feel like WWE loser leaves town kind of thing.
It's not right.
But like, if John got cut after his last two fights, look at Craig White. He had two fights.
Harsh induction,
and he's dropped. So if they cut John after the second loss, no one would have batted an eyelid. So he's got a chance to make it happen.
Yeah, it's because he's made enough noise, isn't it? He's made enough noise. I mean, I think the first fight he had in the UFC, it didn't go the way anyone thought he was going to go, or the way he wanted to go. The second one was a good fight, but obviously.
I really enjoyed it. I thought he didn't do himself any harm there.
Yeah, and it was
short notice.
But the thing is, that's the only problem. The first fight you can argue short notice. If you're contracted to the UFC, they expect you ready. So they're saying like 4 weeks is short notice. Yeah, it was, because he was doing other things, but you contracted. So I don't mean like it was short notice, but the UFC don't care. Yeah. They are cutthroat like that. Yeah. So it's because of the personality he's got, which is great, and how much noise he's made that he's got this sort of fight. We think brilliant, which have doing, but it's like Craig, and he had the first fight on short notice.
Against the top 10 guy.
That should have been like forgotten about the loss. Do you know what I mean? In a way, I think that's the way. Same as John's one, but I don't know.
And then the second fight, then Diego Sanchez.
Yeah. How harsh is that?
And I don't think he disgraced himself in that fight. I thought the game plan could have been different. He could have, because he's good off his back, and he's proven that many times before. Yeah. But I don't think he anticipated Diego's top game being so good either. So we spoke about the Battle of Wales. Now let's talk about the Battle of Porthcawl. The Coney Beach conflict, the Treco Bay tear-up.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be a great fight. If you haven't got what we're talking about yet, it's Ben Ellis versus Scott Pedersen. Both from Porthcawl, both sort of trained in the same circles at one time. Now they're fighting for the Cage Warriors Academy Welsh lightweight amateur title.
Can I just point out as well how excited we are for this fight, and it's not pro.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what, again, going back to what we're saying about the amateur sport, and you haven't got to turn pro anymore. Like, these boys could maintain legend status without. I mean, that's how excited we are about something that's not even professional.
I was saying that, like, Scotty has always been in big fights with Bogdan and Tobias on your show. Like, you flew over two top European level prospects, and again, like, Scott, he's always used to be in big fights, and he's an amateur.
That's what I mean.
Ben Ellis, it doesn't get bigger an opponent for him than Ben Ellis, where you got two, imagine they both run in for Porthcawl and just randomly like.
I wonder if they've got their like own territories, like you run the woods on Monday and I run it on Tuesday.
Everything left of the lighthouse is mine.
Sometimes steal their donkey if I beat you something.
When they both fight in Abu Vale, I might just go on the rob in Porthcawl.
That's the all dinner run down there.
But that's another big fight.
I'm looking forward to that.
And then on the same card, you got another big fight, bit under the radar. Elliot Chilcott versus Jack Tucker. Both interested in coming on board the Welsh team, and they're gonna both be at the trials. It's a huge fight. Neither man has the profile of either Ben Ellis or Pedersen, but it's still a cracking fight. Like.
They're beasts, man. Yeah, that's gonna be a war, I reckon. That one. I think.
You got to watch. Orban's turning pro.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
And fighting Brett
Hassett, another great fight.
Didn't Brett speak to somebody from his gym, Michael Corstand, quickly than last fight? Am I right or wrong?
Sorry.
Didn't Brett fight Michael Corstand last?
I think so, yeah.
He talked about it. Yeah, he got a good guillotine. But again, a striker. So I don't think there's anyone shooting in that fight.
I know. I've seen everyone I've seen Brett fight. To be honest, he's if you look at his record, he's not got the best record in the world. You look at the guys he's fought. Yeah. I mean, even when Mason fought, Mason showed his stand up this year. The guys, Mason's a beast. But Brett was landing a few on Mason.
Hell of a pro debut, though. That's a massive statement to fight.
It's massive, man. It's
but
massive.
He did it in amateur as well, didn't he? Fight, he had one fight, then he fought somebody 4-0 or 5-0. I can't think of the guy's name.
I think you don't get anywhere like records. What was I say? Records for DJs, but you got to fight them names now, and I think that's what Oban knows. I think that's why.
And of course, while we still got time, your boy Rory.
Yeah, fights a Chris. These fights straight away. Again, like we're saying, you fight the people where you want to be in these fights. Josh Reed.
Rory Evans, of course, fighting Josh Reed. Another massive fight. Massive fight.
Rory's been out for a while with injury. He's fine now. He was ready to go in December. Fight got cancelled last minute.
You got Reed, who's a former Cage Warriors world title challenger. He came
not even long ago.
Like that fight against Nathaniel Wood.
Probably the best.
Oh my God! He could have gone either way. Imagine he came out on top of that. It would have been him going to the UFC.
Yeah.
And he would have been full of momentum and the confidence. I mean, he's lost.
I was like watching the TV going, yes, no. You know, it's like, yes, go on.
It's insane. I mean, this one, that's had millions and millions of hits because it was just a war. And a fair play to Rory taking a fight.
When Rory came into the gym on the Friday, when he'd been talking to Chris about that fight, he was excited. I think it was confirmed. And obviously they got to go through Cage Warriors to make sure Cage Warriors are happy with the match and stuff. But he's really excited with the fight, so thinking, alright, okay, he's game for this is on. So what I will say, with these academy shows, you get a lot of people, amateurs on, and people buy the tickets and then to see their mates, and then they go home early.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah, no, I'm taking my boy up and staying for
Don't, because stay for that. It's the main event. Obviously got all and stuff on before, but it's going to be a crack. Obviously, Josh comes to fight, everyone knows that. Rory's coming to fight. Yeah. It's going to be an outstanding main event on an academy show. So
I usually like my bed early, like going home early because I'm training early in the morning. Yeah. But after the next day is going to be my rest day. I'm 100% staying everywhere. I'm phone him early.
Then he drive me back and see him back.
Before we wrap up, the other big fight that's been announced, of course, we've already mentioned it. Glenn the Sledge Williams versus
Jamie McDonald.
Don't forget that one. The next fight is Submit. So before we go, any shout outs you want to give?
My sponsors, we haven't got enough time to name them all, but I'm looking at. And no, that's it. And I'll see you in 4 weeks.
Always good luck from us and
good
luck with the show. Thank you guys.